filmmakers, today we are talking about how to do this whole audition thing as a director. To a certain extent, searching for your actors is a lot like shopping for craft supplies. You have a general idea of how you want your project to come together, and now you're just looking for the individual pieces. What you're judging isn't necessarily whether they're a good actor or not, but rather do they fit your project and do they fit with all the other people and pieces that you're bringing together. That being said, you're also judging whether they're a good actor or not. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on amateur auditions, which is where the people who are auditioning have little to no experience. In my experience, auditioning professional actors is a completely different affair. And I know that many of you guys are working with your friends and your family who aren't professional actors. So come along with me and I'm going to take you through the steps of the audition process. Preparing for the audition. When someone is coming into audition, you have to decide what kind of audition you're looking for. Do you just want to see them act so you know they can act? Do you want them to read lines from your script? Are they auditioning for specific roles, or are they just auditioning to be in the movie somewhere? Depending on what you decide, you need to send them some instructions. If you want them to read for a specific role, you need to send them what's called a side and a character description. A side is a 1 to 2 page excerpt from the script. For the side, you need to choose a scene that obviously features the character they're auditioning for, but you want it to be the most difficult scene, acting-wise, for that character. If there's a scene where crying is involved, for example, you need to know whether your actor can do that or not. You need to know if they can pull off this role. The character description is just a short blurb about who the character is. Since they're only getting 1 or 2 pages from the script without having any idea about the rest of it, they just need a little bit of context. Who is this character? What is their background? What is their basic personality? That sort of thing. So that's for if you want the actor to audition for a specific role. If you just want to see if someone can act or not, you can choose not to send them any material, but send instructions for them to come prepared to deliver a monologue. If you really wanted to, you could send a few different monologues for them to choose from. In general, you want to audition for your main characters using actual material from the script, and have your background characters audition with a monologue. Okay, so that's communicating with the actors. Here's what you need to set up logistically at the actual auditions. Number 1, a camera and tripod. You'll want to record the audition so you can go back and review them again later. You may not think that you'll need a refresher, but trust me, after about the 5th audition, names and faces start blurring together and you'll want to go back and watch the footage. Number 2, a place for you to sit. Depending on the number of people, auditions can last all day long. Make sure that you are comfortable, that you get enough to eat and to drink so that you can focus 100% on the auditions and not on your grumbling stomach. Number 3, a good place for people to wait. If you're having more than 3 people come at one time, it's a good idea to have a place for a group to wait. And only bring in 1 actor at a time. That way the group isn't distracting to you or to the person who's auditioning. And now that you're all prepared, it's time for the auditions. So as a director, there are 2 different things that an audition needs to be. And number 1 is a job interview. Besides just looking at whether an actor will fit the role or not, you need to be evaluating what will it be like to work with this person. If they are difficult to communicate with, or late, or rude, or condescending to you in any way, those are all big red flags that they're not great to work with.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Max.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Car wouldn't start and I had missed the alarm on my phone. Where do I put this?
Just have a seat.
Just under here? Yep. There, okay. And do you have a side? I forgot to bring mine.
I have to do the other one.
Whenever you're ready.
Please just loan me the money. I only need $30.
Not gonna happen. Excuse me, could you please stop that? It's very distracting.
What I wanted for this character was someone who's very focused on what he's doing and not so much on his sister, like she's just on the peripheral.
But the character description doesn't explain him that way. It sells him as someone who's devoted to his family. So when can I expect my call back?
You can learn a lot about a person by paying attention to how they treat you, how they treat anyone else in the room, even how they treat their own stuff. If they don't seem to care about their own stuff, just leaving it laying around to be stepped on, how can you trust them to care about your expensive gear or expensive props? If they don't come prepared with the material that you sent them, it tells you that they don't think the film is worth it to put effort into, or they don't know how to follow instructions, both of which will cause problems for your project.
Do you need a side?
Yes, probably. I glanced at it a few times.
Oh.
It's just $30. I'll pay you back, I promise.
Even if I wanted to send my money down the black hole that is your spending habits, I can't. Roombas aren't cheap, and I need them.
Filmmaking is a ton of fun, but as you're beginning to take it more seriously, you need to think of it in more business-like terms. These are people that you're going to work with, not just have fun with. You need to choose wisely who you're bringing onto your projects. As well as a job interview, the audition is also a creative test. And on the creative side of things, there are 3 things in particular that I look at when auditioning amateurs. Number 1, are they comfortable? Everyone is nervous when they go in for an audition. It's a scary thing to put yourself out like that. It feels like standing in front of strangers going, "Judge me, judge me. Can you judge me? More judgment, please. Can I get some judgment? Judge me." But as a director, I'm looking for the people who can overcome that feeling and actually give a performance. There are some people who are so nervous, nothing they do looks natural.
Hello.
Hello.
You want to have a seat?
Okay.
I only need $30.
Not gonna happen. You still owe me $8 for that movie ticket last week. Even if I wanted to send my money down the black hole that is your spending habits, I can't.
Now, you can have understanding for people who are nervous and help them be as comfortable as possible.
I'm gonna have you run through it again, and I'm gonna give you a small adjustment. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders. I know this is a stressful situation, but we're friendly. We don't bite. We want to see the best that you have. Go ahead and look Lizzie in the eye as you're delivering those lines. Don't be afraid to look her in the eye. She's friendly.
But you will very quickly find the people who can get comfortable in front of the camera. And you need to know that, because the stress of performing in front of people and in front of the camera is not going to go away. It's going to be exactly the same on set, and I need to know if my actors can handle it. It takes a lot of unnecessary time and effort on my part to coach a good performance out of someone who just isn't comfortable on camera. Number 2, do they take direction? So an actor shows up, they've got the material memorized, and they give a great performance. But you also need to know, can they give you variety? And can they apply your direction to their performance? I always have the actor go through the scene at least 2 times. The first time is to see their interpretation of it from just reading the side. And even if they completely nail what I wanted on the first go, I ask them to do it again.
Okay, that was really great. I'm gonna have you read through it again, and I'm gonna give you a small adjustment. Can you play it more wheedling? I imagine this character really trying to wheedle her way into getting what she wants. So very much more wheedly, trying to get him on her side.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Jeez, way to sympathize with me.
Some actors can take direction and others get locked into how they memorized it or how they see it in their head, and so they perform it exactly the same the second time despite the direction I just gave them. This is a sign, again, that it's going to take a lot of time and effort on my part to get the performance that I want out of them. Number 3, do they fit the role? This piece of it is difficult to talk about because it's so subjective. It all depends on the script and on the character and your vision of the character. A lot of it is just your vision and personal preference. But here are some thoughts for you as you consider this question. You need to walk into the auditions with a good idea of what you want, but still be flexible. Don't discount someone because they don't immediately fit the description of what you are looking for. What you're looking at is potential. There have been several times where someone gave a performance that was completely different than what I was thinking, but I loved it so much that I ended up changing my vision. Also, it's not just about the ability to deliver lines. You also want to be looking at their reactions and little things in their acting that really sell the characters. You want to be looking at body language and just the energy of the performance. Someone who is more quiet and reserved will have a hard time playing an energetic, bombastic character. Your job as the director is to captivate the audience, and so you need to be looking for the people who captivate you in the auditions and who really bring the characters to life. And lastly, at the audition, here are some don'ts. Don't get caught up in trying to coach a perfect performance out of every single person who auditions. 1 or 2 run-throughs of the scene should give you a good idea of what each actor has to offer. Save all that time and energy for on-set with your actual cast. Also, don't offer a role to anyone at the audition. Even if you're wowed by a particular actor, you never know if someone even more perfect for the role will come along later in the day. To end the auditions, all you need to say is,
Well, thank you for coming in today, and you should hear from us within a couple weeks.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you. Have a good day.
after the auditions. Alright, so now it's time to review the audition tapes and decide who you want to cast. Basically, you have to take all those different factors that you were looking at during the audition and weigh one against the other. Chances are you aren't going to be able to find anyone that has absolutely everything that you want. They were great at delivering lines, but their body language was wrong. They had just the right look, but they were really stiff in their performance. They were great at the performance, but they're the wrong age, too young, too old, too tall, have the wrong hair color. They were friendly and professional, but they couldn't actually act. Or they were perfect for the role and showed up 2 hours late. It's a lot of having to juggle all these different factors. You also have to juggle your first gut impression of the performance and what it was like to be in the room with them, and then what you think after reviewing the tapes. Sometimes they can be different. It's really helpful to have someone with you through this decision-making process, someone who knows the script and who's just there to help you bounce ideas around. If you have a producer, they definitely need to be in on this process, as they will be handling a lot of the communication and logistics of the cast. If any of the actors are late constantly or difficult to communicate with, it affects the producer a lot. At the end of the day, who you cast in your movie is the big decision you make as the director. You need to be excited about the people that you're bringing into the roles and excited to see them bring your vision to life. Be strong in your opinions and don't talk yourself into casting someone. You will regret it later. Once you've made your decision, all there's left to do is to send an official offer. Dear actor, thank you so much for auditioning. I would like to offer you the role of Jane. Attached to the script, please let me know if you would like to accept the role as soon as possible so I can get your character locked. I'm excited to have you be a part of the project. And like that, you've cast your movie. And that's what I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I wanted to give a big thank you to all my friends who came and participated in our mock auditions to get the B-roll for this episode. As always, if you have any questions or thoughts, please leave a comment below, like and subscribe. It really helps boost this channel to reach more people and to teach more homeschooling filmmakers. I'm Annie Pulling Sweat, and I'm a homegrown filmmaker. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.